Collections are a way to reward players for gathering resources, offering them new item recipes and skill experience. But for a small percentage of players, collections would become so much more. A way of life, a way of being. Some players spend hours grinding each day just to see their numbers getting higher and higher. Some even so scared to leave their home in fear of losing their spot.
So I don't know, I had to go to the store the other day. I had to interrupt my potato farming because my dad was like, hey, can you go to the store and pick up my medicine? And I was like, can I really tell him that I'm not getting his medicine because I need to farm potatoes?
I admittedly was one of these people holding the title of #1 in the ice collection for some months. But all that ice is only the tip of the iceberg. This is Technoblade. In November of 2019, he took the #1 potato collection title from YouTuber I'm a Squid Kid, and has held it ever since. His series so large that it gained Hypixel's recognition, and even got a crown to wear while sitting on his throne at the top. Since he was declared victorious in his battle against Squid Kid, when he reached 500 million potatoes, it's been pretty silent. But among the silence, it's only a matter of time before a bigger, better competitor steps up. Before we get into today's video, please consider hitting the subscribe button. YouTube Analytics tells me that only 79.4% of viewers are subscribed, and if all of you were to press that button, I'd have another 100 subscribers, which sounds pretty good right about now as I'm trying to gain some momentum. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on videos like these. But anyway, we have a lot to uncover, so let's get right into the video. With the fame and notoriety that Technoblade received comes followers who want to prove that they have what it takes too. Just to get into the top 1000 potato collection now, it takes around a heaping 20 million potatoes. What happens when Technoblade stops grinding and these fans get serious? Well, the answer seems obvious. Technoblade will most likely lose his spot as the #1 potato collector. The better question is, when? And will he try to take it back? With that many potatoes in his collection, it should take months of grinding to catch up. So Technoblade should be good for some while longer then, right? The answer may shock you. What we didn't consider is that some people may have already had a head start grinding right there alongside him the whole time. Our story begins with one of these players who is doing so well that it is probable that he not only passed Squid Kid, but maybe even passed the king himself. Who is this player? He isn't a pig, he isn't a squid, he's a lunatic enderman and goes by the name Mikkers. If we look at his profile, we could see two things. He has all 24 slots from unique minions unlocked, and of course, he has an absurd amount of potatoes. If you remember, Technoblade had 500 million potatoes when he won the war 3 months ago. Mikkers passed that, having 620 million potatoes. So is this the new #1 potato collection? It's hard to know for sure because Technoblade's collection isn't public, but we could do our best to investigate. It wasn't until recently that we finally got some answers. On October 15th, Technoblade made an appearance on Tommy and its stream and had this to say on the subject.
What I'm saying is you don't gotta maintain your spot.
Well, actually I do. There was actually a guy that passed me in potato count. NANI?! And then his account got completely wiped because he was a big cheater.
Oh.
So
nothing wrong with that.
To being #1, boys.
Amen.
Man, you could just hear how dead inside Technoblade sounds. Isn't that something? It turns out that when you achieve such a feat, you are put in the spotlight, which gets attention, but gets you attention from admins too. Although, maybe I'm wrong about that. If you search his name on the forums, there are still no results, so perhaps I'm the first one talking about this subject. And maybe the only attention you got was from admins. So it turns out all along that Mikkers was a hacker, but what happened next? Well, if you look at his profile, it's still there, but you could tell everything was wiped. If you do scroll down to his potato collection, it still displays how many potatoes he had collected. He also has an insane amount of carrots and diamonds, which means he might have been grinding carrots with diamond spreading before deciding to go for the coveted collection. According to one of Technoblade's goons, the pig had a lot of potatoes in his minions and retook the #1 spot promptly, and it has remained that way ever since. We don't know for sure if Mikkers cheated while collecting potatoes, or if his collection is still on the leaderboard, but he supposedly got banned for using foraging macros. Ultimately, this story serves to prove the proverb, cheaters never prosper, correct. The pig survives its prey and lives for one day more. Although his island is private to only his friends and guild, There have been fewer and fewer sightings of him farming potatoes manually like his days of glory. This is where the story ends. Not much else is happening. Everything is silenced once more. The only thing uncertain now is, who will be the next to step up?